Am I dead?
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
What is up YouTube, and welcome to this WandaVision episode 6 preview and further dissection of the aftermath of WandaVision episode 5. There will be spoilers for the last episode and also the upcoming episode 6, and we know that this is the Halloween episode where we will finally get to see the classic comic book accurate costumes for both Vision and Wanda, as well as Pietro himself. Now, before we dive in, let's just take a look at the leaked description for this episode, and if you like the video, please do help us out by dropping a like down below and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a video. It's Halloween and the family are out trick-or-treating with Pietro looking for a Maxima candy. Both of Wanda's children started to develop powers. One has precognition while the other can run fast. Vision split from the group, and finally he tries to exit the Westview bubble. But Wanda figured out what he was going to do, so she has made the dome wider so Vision is sucked back in. So with this in mind, it is clear that Pietro will be sticking around, and we have to wonder, 1, how has he returned, and 2, is he someone else in disguise? Now, some scoopers and leakers have said how we should not expect Mephisto anytime soon, and it could be a Nightmare, or at least the Nightmare, who is the true villain of the show. With rumours in mind, well, some have said that Quicksilver is actually not Quicksilver and is a demon in disguise, such as Nightmare. Now, Nightmare is a villain of the Dream Dimension, and, well, he was a big villain of Doctor Strange, which makes sense if it is not Mephisto. And, well, I did always think that Mephisto is far too big to be used in a television show, and what would that leave for the Multiverse of Madness? But then again, Evan Peters' MCU debut was here. If he is indeed not the Demon Nightmare, which would be better in my eyes, as to be honest, it does seem like a slap in the face to the multiverse fans. Like Mysterio was, as much as I loved Far From Home, I did want that multiverse. And like I said in my breakdown, which you can check out on my channel, where he is Pietro from the Fox X-Men universe and thinks he's found his true twin. Perhaps Nightmare or Wanda's energy did bring him to this reality. She did not seem to recognize him, so that could be that theory there coming true, perhaps, fingers crossed. Now we also have to wonder, which aerospace engineer did Monica Rambeau text? Yes, she needs a very, very complicated machine to go into, or at least back into, the Westview bubble. Well, there are a few options, with the most hopeful is Reed Richards, who makes perfect sense that he would be working for S.W.O.R.D., which you can check out in a video I put up earlier this week. One other option is Sue Storm, who recently in her solo series has been operating on missions in secret away from her family. So making her an agent of S.W.O.R.D. would be pretty badass, if I do say so myself. However, a leaker by the name of Always Kylo, a fellow man of culture I say, has leaked it that she is actually contacting Talos' daughter. I did initially think Talos when she was texting, but I thought, you know what, Reed Richards would be pretty dope as well. However, it does seem that it will be Talos' daughter, and, well, that would make sense considering Monica and her would be roughly around the same age. This is supposed to hint towards secret invasion, which is curious, and it still baffles me that we're having this story, considering that the Skrulls, at least so far in the MCU, the ones we've seen, are good. But the Spanish translation for the show hints at the person being female due to the gender of the words used. I will not butcher the Spanish language by pronouncing it here because I did not get to that part on Duolingo. This machine does get built as we see it used in a trailer for the entire season, and please let me know down in the comments who you think she is texting. Now, the episode also showed how Agnes is a lot more self-aware than her fellow Westview citizens. But considering there is no ID for her in the Sword HQ, well, it makes sense that she is indeed someone else. To be honest, it is quite evident that she is Agatha Harkness, the legendary witch of the Marvel Universe, and considering that Agnes can be made from that name, she wears a similar brooch and is always knowing what is going on, means that she may have helped Wanda before things went wrong, or perhaps she has got involved trying to fix things. More on that theory in a bit. Maybe she told Wanda about the sword experiment on Vision and things got way out of hand. Next week we see Wanda and Vision, like I said, in the comic outfits, and Agnes is in a witch outfit, as well as Pietro that the leaks showed. So they are very much being their true selves here. In the 2015 Scarlet Witch run, which I really highly suggest you all checking out, well, Wanda discovered her true origin, that she and Pietro were the children of a witch. If this is true in the MCU, then it would explain their power level after their exposure to the Mind Stone experimentations. In this run, she, Pietro, as well as Agatha Harkness, teamed up to stop a manifestation of chaos from destroying magic. So this could be similar to what is happening here with a Witchy Woo team up. In the description, it is said that the dome will extend, and this does match up with reports that the Sword Trio, Monica, Darcy and Jimmy, will be brought into the sitcom world. We've seen Vision slowly realise what is going on, but next episode in the promos we've seen, we can see that Vision is trying to escape after hearing he is dead from Agnes, who is woken up by him, just like what he did to Norm. Now, I think that we will see him work out that all this is happening, that he's dead and things like that, but he won't know exactly what's happened, and his escape will be the cliffhanger that will cause the bubble to expand. Slowly throughout the episode, he will work out just what the heck is going on, leading him to fly around, go out of the bubble, only to be brought back in by our girl, Wanda. You see, she's doing the best impression there of, "They thought I was out, but they pulled me back in." And I've probably really butchered that legendary impression there. But that's what this is happening here. The bubble is expanded, and we will see the Sword Trio in there as Sword try and break back in to the Westview bubble. And I think that we will see some more manifestations of our girl Monica's powers, which I think will be pretty darn cool. And considering that the X-ray did show that there was something on there, well, people have said that it'd be photon. I did say it might be photons there, but it might be a spectrum of radiation that causes this, which would then mean she would take her comic book name Spectrum, as photon is taken by her mother. Now, we saw a large blast in the leaks, which could be Wanda extending the Westview bubble, and I'm starting to wonder if Agnes is all bad, but it can be simply misdirection. Marvel like to mess with their villains, so she could simply be a witch who was called in to help, or here is my wild guess, and I do like to present facts here. This is a breakdown of what will be happening, and some theories there, sprinkled like Salt Bae on top. Yes, I'm busting out the old memes, but my idea is that they could be changing her to be a sorcerer, and what could happen here is that it gets out of her skill level, which requires the Sorcerer Supreme to turn up. Yes, that might be happening, and it is kind of rumoured that we will be getting Doctor Strange appearing in at least one episode. That could be the Luke Skywalker leak that herself, Elizabeth Olsen, did mention. Now, the idea of next episode, it will be the 90s, so what will happen? Now, for me, as a 90s kid, 90s are very much my thing, and I would imagine that, well, we're getting a very typical 90s style Halloween episode, complete with, we get trick-or-treating, which reminds me of Doug the cartoon, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and things like that. Now, while they are actually walking around, we do actually see people crying, and it looks like the Westview bubble is breaking and cracking. And with the expansion, that could be a real problem. Now, the trick-or-treating shows, or at least the leaks show, that we get a few parts of Pietro and the kids in more comic book accurate costumes, and they could be the ones telling Wanda what their dad is doing, causing it to expand. But that is it for this video, so please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I will see you soon, and goodbye.